What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and after 13 head coaches and 16 losing seasons, the New York Knicks are finally back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999, and they did so in dominated fashion as they have won 11 consecutive games by double-digit points, proving themselves to be one of the most dominant playoff teams in NBA history. And although everything is going well right now, that has not always been the case for the Knicks, because from 2000 to 2020, they were the laughingstock of the NBA due to bad free agency signings like Jared Jeffries, Jerome James, and Joakim Noah, bad draft decisions like selecting Jordan Hill over DeMar DeRozan, or selecting Frank Ntilikina over Donovan Mitchell and Bam Adebayo, or selecting Obi Toppin over Tyrese Halliburton. And then they were unsuccessful in their pursuit to sign marquee players like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Joe Johnson in 2010, and Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant in 2019. And so for 2 decades, y'all, the New York Knicks, who are arguably the most historic franchise in NBA history, became the most irrelevant franchise in the NBA. And a lot of people, including myself, were unsure if the Knicks were ever going to become that great franchise again, because they went through so many head coaches, so many GMs, so many presidents. But it didn't matter, y'all, because they continued to get the same result, which was just an absolute horrible basketball team. And we know that New York is the mecca of the world, and when the Knicks are playing well, it's just better for the NBA. But for 2 decades, y'all, that simply wasn't the case. You know, you had a lot of people saying that James Dolan needed to just sell the team because it seemed like he just could not bring in the right head coach and the right GM and the right president to really get the Knicks back on track, y'all. But then in 2020, everything changed as he hired Leon Rose. And we have to give Leon Rose a lot of credit, y'all, because he inherited, again, I just went through it, he inherited a horrible team, a horrible franchise, and he has totally revitalized this Knicks franchise. And he's done it in such a way, y'all, where it's very reminiscent of how the Knicks were great in the 90s, right? He was able to sign and acquire guys that were overlooked, that were undervalued in their careers, but have proven themselves to be really good to great players. And when you think about the Knicks in the 90s, you know, they didn't have a ton of superstar players. Yes, they had Patrick Ewing, but they just had a lot of tough, scrappy, gritty, and tenacious dudes that was willing to do whatever it took to help the team win. And I think, y'all, this 2026 Knicks team is very similar to those great Knicks teams of the 90s, because everything obviously starts with Jalen Brunson, right? He's a Patrick Ewing to this team. He's a superstar player, but when they signed him, y'all, a lot of people did not like that signing because they felt like they overpaid for Jalen Brunson. But obviously, he has proven himself to be one of the elite players in the NBA, y'all, and he has done something that a lot of players have been able to do. He is a undersized guard who has carried his team to the finals. You know, the only undersized guards in NBA history to do that have been Isaiah Thomas, Allen Iverson, and Steph Curry, y'all. Now Jalen Brunson can add his name to the list again, being an undersized guard, proving a lot of people wrong that even though, you know, I'm only 6'2", I can still be a great player. I can still be an effective player and lead my team to the finals. He's been an incredible guard. I'm telling you, he's already probably one of the greatest Knicks players in NBA history, and the city just loves him. They really embrace him. It's been great to see. And then you look at Karl-Anthony Towns, who, you know, when they traded him, a lot of people didn't agree with that trade because, you know, a lot of the Knicks fans had really, you know, became very close with Julius Randle because of what he had done for their franchise. But the Knicks felt like they need to get better. They felt like Karl-Anthony Towns was going to be a better offensive player for them. And so far, y'all, that's proven to be the case. And he's been absolutely dominant so far during the playoffs, averaging about 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists per game while shooting nearly 49% from three. And, you know, a lot of people had questions as to if Karl-Anthony Towns could ever elevate his game in the playoffs, because we know he's always been a great player during the regular season, but, you know, he hasn't always been at his best during the postseason, y'all. But he has proven all the doubters, he's proven all the haters wrong that, yes, he can be a great player in the playoffs as well. He is taking this game to the next level. It's been great to see. And then you look at Mikal Bridges, y'all, who a couple years ago, the Knicks infamously, you know, traded a boatload of picks away to acquire him, and a lot of people did not agree with that move. Y'all starting to see a trend. You know, a lot of the players on this team, y'all, were acquired, and a lot of people did not think, you know, it was going to pay off, but it has. And you look at Mikal Bridges, he has proven himself to be one of the best two-way wing players in the NBA. And then you look at OG Anunoby, a guy, y'all, that in my opinion has always been a great player, has always been one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA. But when he played for the Raptors, I really don't think he got the love and appreciation that he deserved. But now that he's with the Knicks, I think a lot of people are starting to figure out, okay, OG Anunoby is a very great basketball player. Again, one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA. And then you look at Josh Hart, y'all got it. I think really embodies that New York City culture, the toughness, the grittiness, the tenaciousness, willing to do the little things to help the team win. He's just a Swiss Army knife. He does everything on the floor at an incredibly high level. And then you look at Miles Deuce McBride, y'all, who's just a tough, gritty, tenacious 3-and-D point guard, really nice backup guard to have. Then you look at Mitchell Robinson, who's an absolute defensive monster, great on the glass as well. But y'all, again, everything goes back to Leon Rose. He is the orchestrator of this entire team, of this entire franchise. He is the one that has revitalized this team, that has revitalized this franchise, brought the energy back to the New York Knicks. And this is a great thing to see, because you see, some of the fans, they are finally fired up, y'all, because for some of the fans, like, they're young, so they've never seen the Knicks be a great team before. But then you have older fans like Tracy Morgan and Fat Joe and Spike Lee. They remember when the Knicks were great in the 90s, but it had been so long that, even they were unsure if their team was ever going to be great again, y'all. But now the Knicks are back and better than ever. And as I stated to begin this video, man, it has truly been a long time coming for the Knicks, but their change has finally come. This team is absolutely dominant, y'all. And again, they did not just get lucky to make the NBA Finals. No, they have been absolutely dominant. They've won 11 consecutive games by double-digit points. I stated a couple days ago in the community post that I think this is the most dominant postseason run we've seen since the 2017 Golden State Warriors. Y'all remember that Warriors team? They went 16-1 in the playoffs. The Knicks right now, they're 11-3 in the playoffs. Again, just been absolutely dominant on both sides of the ball, y'all. And they're doing it with guys that were unheralded, that were undervalued, that were overlooked. Think about it. A lot of people didn't agree with the Jalen Brunson signing. A lot of people didn't agree with the acquisition of Mikal Bridges. A lot of people didn't agree with the acquisition of Karl-Anthony Towns. And all those guys have played so well for this team. And now the city, the fans have really rallied behind them, y'all. And I'm going to be honest, I think this team can absolutely win the NBA Finals. I know a lot of people out there feel like, oh, well, they're just going to get dominated to the Spurs and to the Thunder, y'all. But I absolutely think this team can win the Finals, because they definitely have what it takes to win. And then, obviously, last but not least, we have to show some love to their coach, Mike Brown, because a lot of people did not agree with the decision to fire Tom Thibodeau, because Tom Thibodeau had been the most successful Knicks coach in quite some time, right? But the Knicks felt like they needed someone that can take them over their hump to get them to the next step, y'all. And obviously, that's what Mike Brown has done. So you got to give kudos to him. Again, it's just a great time to be a Knicks fan, man. The Knicks are back and better than ever. Go New York, go New York, go. And I cannot wait to see what they do in the NBA Finals. There have been, this is me discussing the rise of the New York Knicks, how they went from being the laughingstock of the NBA to being legendary and one of the best playoff teams in NBA history. Remember, y'all, laughs good mess. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all, I'm in it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.